Something happened to me in the woods last fall that still makes my blood run cold. A moment that completely shattered my understanding of reality. I was hiking a familiar trail, deep in the national park, when the air suddenly grew heavy, silent, and the birdsong just stopped. A few minutes later, I swear I heard my own name whispered from directly behind me, even though I was absolutely alone on the remote path. When I whirled around, there was nothing, but the woods felt wrong, like the trees were closer, the light dimmer, and the very air was vibrating with an unnatural hum. Then, for a terrifying instant, a patch of sunlight ahead of me flickered, not like a light switch, but like a corrupted video file skipping frames, revealing a fleeting, dark shape within it. My heart hammered, adrenaline surged, and I scrambled away, not daring to look back, convinced I'd just witnessed something fundamentally broken about the world. I made it back to my car in a daze, trembling. The memory of that flicker and that shape burned into my mind like a brand. To this day, I can't shake the feeling that the woods hold secrets far darker than any ghost story, and that sometimes reality itself just blinks.
I bought my dream house last year, a charming Victorian on the edge of town, but it came with a tenant I never bargained for. At first, it was subtle. Misplaced keys, doors ajar I'd sworn I'd closed, the faint smell of old perfume that vanished as quickly as it appeared. Then came the whispers, soft and almost imperceptible, often when I was alone in the kitchen or trying to sleep, just beyond the threshold of others standing. They sounded like a woman's voice, a mournful sigh, sometimes a distorted plea, always just at the edge of my hearing, making me question my own sanity.
One evening, while renovating the attic, I found a hidden compartment containing a faded journal and a tiny old locket with a braided lock of hair. The journal belonged to a woman named Ilara who died mysteriously in the house decades ago, detailing her slow descent into madness, claiming a shadow man tormented her. Her final entry simply read, "He whispers now, always." That night, the whispers weren't faint, they were clear, right by my ear. And they weren't just Ilara's voice, but others too, all urging me to stay, just like they had her.
This happened on a cross-country drive through the remote Nevada desert, and I swear I haven't slept right since. The memory keeps me wide awake. I was driving through a pitch-black, deserted stretch of highway around 2 a.m. when I suddenly saw a gaunt figure on the roadside, waving faintly. Against every instinct, I pulled over. It was an older man, dressed in old-fashioned, tattered clothes, his face almost completely obscured by a wide-brimmed hat, asking for a ride to the next town. He said absolutely nothing the entire ride, just stared straight ahead, radiating an unsettling stillness that filled the cramped car with suffocating, unbearable tension.
We drove for what felt like agonizing hours in absolute silence, past miles of empty desert, until I noticed the reflection in my rearview mirror wasn't quite right. His reflection, for a horrifying second, was of a skeletal, decaying face with hollow, dead eyes, before it snapped back to the obscured hat, making my blood run ice cold. I slammed on the brakes, heart pounding, and when I looked over, the passenger seat was utterly empty. The man was completely gone, without a sound. There was absolutely no way he could have gotten out. We were in the middle of nowhere, miles from any turnoff, and that silent, impossible ride haunts me still. My eccentric great-aunt always had a room full of antique dolls, but I never knew the real reason why until her will was read. Every doll was meticulously cared for, positioned perfectly, each with its own tiny hand-stitched outfit, and Aunt Clara was fiercely protective of them. After she passed, the executor found a sealed letter addressed to me, instructing me to visit her doll room alone after dark. Trembling, I entered the room, the doll's vacant stares feeling unusually heavy, almost watchful in the oppressive silence. Following specific instructions from the letter, I picked up a specific doll, its porcelain cold beneath my fingers, and twisted its head. There was a faint click, and a tiny compartment in the doll's back popped open, revealing a tightly folded piece of paper. It wasn't just paper. It was a dried, brittle lock of human hair, tucked inside a miniature drawing of a child's face I didn't recognize. Each doll, the letter explained, held a memory of a child lost to the town's ancient, neglected well, and Aunt Clara believed by keeping their likeness, she kept their souls from being truly forgotten. But their eyes still follow me. I was just brushing my teeth, looking in the bathroom mirror, when for a split second, the reflection staring back wasn't me. It was a face like mine, but gaunt, with sunken eyes and a disturbing, empty smile. A flicker so quick, I immediately dismissed it as tiredness. But then, the feeling of being watched started. A persistent prickle on my neck, always when I was near reflective surfaces, especially mirrors and polished glass. I started seeing quick movements in my periphery, shadows that darted away when I turned my head, and a chilling sense of someone mirroring my actions just out of sight. One night, I set up a camera pointing at my bedroom mirror, determined to catch whatever was messing with my head. The footage was mostly still until 3 a.m. when my reflection in the mirror slowly turned its head, completely out of sync with my sleeping body, and stared directly into the camera. Its empty smile returned, wider this time, showing too many teeth, and a faint, distorted whisper, just audible on the recording, seemed to say, "I'm you now." I smashed every mirror in my house that morning, but I still catch myself checking my reflection, terrified that one day, the real me won't be looking back. The scariest night of my life wasn't when someone broke into my apartment, but when I realized someone had been living in it with me for weeks. It started subtly, food missing from the fridge, small items moved, a faint smell of cigarette smoke in a smoke-free building. I blamed myself, convinced I was just forgetful or sleep-deprived, dismissing the growing unease as paranoia. Then I found it. A small, carefully hidden compartment behind a loose baseboard in my living room, tucked away and invisible unless you knew where to look.
Inside were empty snack wrappers, a dirty blanket, and a chilling collection of my own photos, some scribbled on, some with my face circled in red. My blood ran cold. Someone had not just entered, but had been meticulously observing me, living secretly within my own walls, a silent, predatory presence. That night, I heard faint creaks from the attic above my bedroom, a soft shuffle that wasn't the building settling, but the deliberate movement of feet. I fled my apartment that instant, and though the police found no one, I can still feel eyes on me, knowing my home was never truly mine, and perhaps
I was never truly alone.